Hello everybody, it's Mr. Second Amendment, and today we are checking out the Ishapore 2A1 Lee Enfield pattern rifle chambered in 7.62 NATO. And this is my most recent military surplus rifle pickup here. Ended up getting it for $440, so April 2019, I don't think that's too terrible. I've had my eye on this for years now, and I think it's a pretty cool military surplus rifle. The Ishapore 2A and 2A1 rifles were originally chambered in 7.62 NATO. They were used as a stopgap measure for India, and they were produced from 1963 till about 1975. Even to this day, you'll still find them out there on the subcontinent and somewhere else, being in official and unofficial service. They do have a lot of the features that carry over from the original Lee Enfield pattern. They're based on the SML Lee No. 1 Mark III Star. And one of those classic Lee Enfield features is a very fast and very smooth action. As you can see here, I'm practicing just a little 10-round mad minute, even though the magazine holds 12 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they all ended up landing, but definitely takes some more practice for sure. So I do have plans to do a comprehensive ammo test, just using some readily available 7.62 NATO that everybody can get their hands on. Seen here, I got 9 different types of 7.62 ammo that I'm going to be doing a comprehensive test, 2 5-shot groups from each at 100 yards. Throughout having fun today and just kind of shooting around steel at the range, I did do a little bit of testing, kind of got a head start on that. At least for now, just to show you something. The best performer today was the Federal American Eagle 168 grain OTM projectile. It's actually the stuff that's made for the M1A, but this is going to suit our purposes just fine. The best group, just period, today was 1.9 inches with a 5-shot group. The American Eagle also was able to do 2.3 inches, which was not too bad. I did move on to some Federal XM80C, just the white box standard stuff. And with the flyer included there, I was able to do 3.5 inches and also get it down to 2.6. Generally, everything was shooting a little bit high, anywhere from 6 to 8 inches high. But the rifle seemed to level off at just about 250 yards. Some of the other stuff I tested, like this German-produced MkIII ammunition, it was coming in anywhere from 3 to 4 inches in general. Didn't really seem to group too well with it. I mean, it functioned flawlessly, and the brass quality, everything was good on a lot of this stuff, but it really did like the Federal American Eagle and then the XM80C were kind of the 2 winners, at least for today. When I first got it, did the initial inspection, it does have beautiful wood, and the wood grain is really nice. It's got the telltale signs of having a lot of oil soaked in it. It's almost black, at least right now. We got some cartouches and rack number. That's pretty cool there. You'll notice on the metal that it's got this like cheap black paint that was painted over. That's not a factory feature. That's what the Indian military did to prevent rust, and it definitely seemed to work. When I did take it apart, I noticed that there was no rust anywhere, so it seemed to do the trick. The chamber itself is actually chrome lined, which is pretty nice to have. And the front sight is painted. I think maybe an Indian soldier or somebody did that. The rear sights are graduated out to 800 meters, and I think that's pretty appropriate. Considering some of the other rifles of World War I and prior to that, they're a little bit optimistic. Mine, you can't really see the markings right now with all that paint, but it was produced in 1966, which is pretty cool. And overall, we're left with a pretty nice looking rifle minus some character. When I did get the rifle, I had a 3-day inspection period to be able to inspect it, see if I wanted to send it back or keep it. So I went ahead and did my standard protocol, checked the safety, made sure it was safe to function and everything else like that. I cleaned up the chamber so I could properly do a headspace check. Even though I have 308 gauges, I went ahead and removed the extractor, which is what you do to check headspace. It did end up closing on the no-go, but it did not close on the field gauge, which tells me, at least for a 7.62 chamber, that is within spec. It's towards the bottom of the spectrum, but it is within spec. So knowing that, just got some 7.62 ammo, and thankfully the bore and the chamber are very bright, very sharp, nice rifling. So as with the stuff that I usually do when I get a military surplus, besides the safety and function check and the headspace, I went ahead and took it apart and just inspected it just to see what was going on underneath the stock. And that's kind of the spooky factor, to be honest, because I've seen a lot of great looking rifles, but the second that you take it out of the stock, there might be rust, there might be rot, there might be some serious problems in there that might potentially cause some safety concerns. So before I actually put this against my face and pulled the trigger on it, I wanted to do a full disassembly during my inspection period and just make sure that everything was good. I'm going to go ahead and think that they took it apart all the way, painted it, put it all the way back together, because I don't see any paint on the wood. I just see it on the metal components, and that black paint, even though it's low cost and kind of field expedient, it ended up doing its job. So overall, I'm very happy with the rifle. It's been a great shooter so far, and stay tuned for more videos. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think the 12th one maybe went somewhere over here.